Welcome to Married to Movies. John Russell and Tracy Kring have spent over 20 years in cinematrimony, making films and navigating marriage. They produce, write, and critique films, all while happily sharing life and business.
Good morning, babe.
New backgrounds! Kind of reminds me of the old Johnny Carson's show. Well, you had tried other backgrounds last week.
We tried Emerald.
Yes, and you disliked it so much we didn't even bring it up.
You could tell with the same color background, you could tell the lighting was different. With two different color backgrounds, my theory is you wouldn't know. Because it's two different colors. How would you know?
There you go.
I was fed up with not being able to see the new Ken Burns documentary about the American Revolution.
Right.
In general, the American Revolution, it's hard to find content on.
Well, the American Revolution is such a 7th grade social studies thing, you know, and what you hear about the American Revolution, you know, is it's such PR. It's just it's so sanitized. But this was here. And what was interesting about watching it is that a lot of stuff in the American Revolution happened in New York.
Yeah.
They're talking about Fort Ticonderoga. They're talking about Saratoga. They're talking about Albany. They're talking about
Saratoga,
New Jersey.
Yeah, the Battle of Saratoga is why the French came in to help us.
So we had to get PBS on a...
It's like $5 a month.
Short-term basis.
Yeah.
And it is.
I might keep it.
It is so fantastic.
We're
getting the truth. What? What about me?
We're like, well, okay, but God. You can watch that while I'm not around. And from the literal moment it came on, you were transfixed. Maybe more than me.
I don't know about transfixed.
You were.
That's a lot to say.
I really appreciate that Ken Burns, and maybe if you knew more about the American Revolution, this would not be news to you, but he's really pointing out Washington and all of the different facets of him, and that it's possible that Washington shot the first shot that kicked off this whole thing.
Something I did not know, that George Washington was the richest man in our country at that point.
Of course. I mean, he was like fighting for the British, and then he was like, okay, well, I won that, you know, like make me something. And they were like, don't think so. So he retires. Now, at the point that he retired, he was probably 40.
Right.
Okay. And he went to, what did he do? He needed a wife. He
went and made bank. That's what he did. He
married one of the richest women he could find.
Folks, nothing has changed.
The Americans, so-called,
right,
are like encroaching into the indigenous lands, and they start killing us and fighting us back. And then Britain calls like a cease, like stop going over there and trying to take their shit, and let's just chill this down a little bit. And Washington's like, don't listen to that. And he keeps sending his scouts out specifically looking for the best land possible.
Well, it's interesting that they called it the Continental Congress because they were interested in empire.
I really think it should be required watching that everybody in America watch this, because
it's
all
the
of
real
this
deal.
Is still all of this is still happening.
We talk about slaves, we talk about indigenous people. The only thing is that they keep calling them Indians, and I'm just like, you know, is that insulting to call them Indians?
I don't.
And they're trying to incorporate women, trying to incorporate some stories of like, the writing is incredible. I mean, like the way that they wrote back
what
then.
I appreciate, well, yes, the people who are writing letters.
Incredible.
And I'm like, well, they had plenty of time to sit around and write letters.
Johnny Greenwood, who is also the guitar player for Radiohead. Probably not the same Johnny Greenwood. They kind of follow his storyline, and he kind of goes from like battle to battle, and then he eventually becomes a pirate or a privateer.
Right.
Privateers are pirates, folks. That's what they are. And trying to make his fortune. And I mean, he's a really interesting character.
But let me tell you.
Okay.
The thing that, because they're using all these old paintings, right? These people look like they're 70.
This is true. They all have gray hair. They all kind of look alike.
But they're wearing wigs, of
Right.
course.
White
but
wigs, yeah.
also, in 1776, Thomas Jefferson was 33. And George Washington in 1776 was 44. Betsy Ross and her little sewing of the flag,
Right.
she's 24. Alexander Hamilton was 21. Like, this is not an
These
old
are
man's
kids,
movement.
man. These are
And
kids.
Ben Franklin was 70. Like,
Yeah.
he's fucking old.
So
he
he's
was
hanging.
old.
Yeah, he's hanging with,
But it makes
the
sense that
homies.
he's kind of like the smart
hanging
statesman.
with the homies.
But they like send him over to France. They're like, Ben, get France to help us. Whatever you do, just like convince them to help us. You look around in your life at somebody who's like 21, 25, 27, 33, and you're just like, you could have been building a nation. Like,
This is true.
it would have been my niece.
That's
My
true.
niece would have been Betsy Ross.
If these kids would just get off Instagram, they could be building a nation.
Well, it makes you wonder, like, how did we tell young people what was important? Like, we taught them what was important.
Mhm.
And we didn't teach them that action and rebellion and
Right.
creation was important. We didn't.
There was a little bit of a controversy this week where Wim Wenders at Berlin All, everybody, they were asking everybody political questions. Like, what do you think about Gaza? What do you think about what's happening in the United States? Asking all this stuff. And Wim Wenders says, I try to stay out of politics. I let my films, speak for me. Well, there are quotes from Wim Wenders like years and years ago where he says, art is political. Everything that you do is political. So I don't know how those two necessarily,
He's saying
correlate.
his films should speak for him, and he's saying his films are political. I mean, you should. I don't know. And honestly, who gives a fuck what 900-year-old Wim Wenders feels about politics? Like, literally, who gives a fuck? I don't care.
I understand, but if somebody asks you your opinion,
What would you say if you got a microphone in your face? You have to do it.
You have to express the truth. You have to express what you really believe.
And what are you going to say that's not going to get you on an FBI list?
Well, I mean, you're going to get in trouble with half the people. You're going to lose. But,
I was going to say,
but honestly,
burn it down.
But that's bravery.
Burn it down.
That's bravery, man. Oh, talking about burning it down. You showed me this thing with the Epstein files last night. That was crazy.
I heard this thing about the Epstein files and the release. And, some people are putting a lot of effort into going through and trying to lay it out so that it's like you can look at it. Accessing the Epstein files is not that easy. You just like go and you can like search. I don't know where you can go and just download everything. But there are people out there who've like created a whole website that looks just like Jeffrey Epstein's Gmail. It's called Jmail.
Right.
And you can just like go through there and, look around and read all of his emails as if it was just sent to him.
What's so weird about that is that you're just like going through the pictures and it's just like going through your own phone. It's just like, oh, there's a picture
But then
of a person being
something
silly.
Weird.
And then there'll be like something like, what the fuck is that?
I was just searching key terms and I searched Kring because I was like, why not?
Yeah.
And your dad was in the Epstein files.
I mean, okay, let's change the phrase, okay?
Well, he was
not in the Epstein files.
It was like one of those like emails from LinkedIn.
Yes.
Where it's like someone in your extended network posted this week.
Has something here that posted.
And he had been writing blogs and he had been posting his blogs to his different socials.
And the name of his blog was Words from Dick. They were like words from the dictionary.
I thought this was hilarious. But I mean, also someone in your dad's LinkedIn was somehow also linked in to Jeffrey Epstein. So
That's like the worst kind of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
You don't. This is one you do not want to be connected to.
I think that you got to burn it down. I was very heartened by Prince Andrew no longer being a prince and being arrested. And I think they have like.
Well, and they're talking about other countries releasing the unredacted versions
And they should.
Of the files.
They absolutely
so
should.
that all of the motherfuckers who are involved in horrible, horrible things.
There are so many people out there
man.
working really hard to figure out what all these code words are.
You would ask me, how does this happen? And I really believe it happens with the love of money. Once you love money so much and you love power, and power is money and money is power, that you will do anything to protect it, then you are in the business of evil. Do as thou wilt. That's the thing. It's a horrible way to live, and
I don't want enough money that I would ever behave that way. I don't want that.
Well, I don't think that's going to be a problem because you married me. Well, this has all been very, very depressing. I need to talk about something funny that happened. Something funny that happened with you. Tracy, we were watching CBS Sunday Morning, as we are apt to do.
You love that show.
I love CBS Sunday Morning. As long as the show sticks with the CBS Sunday Morning, hey, this is how they make honey. And it was a story about this documentary that I think it might be nominated for an Oscar. I'm not sure. But the documentary is, I think it's called something like Empty Rooms or something like that. And it's about the rooms of the children that have been killed in school shootings.
Right.
And it's like their bedrooms and, things like that.
Well, their parents are largely like not touching their bedrooms.
Right.
I mean, they're like how
and
they were when they left
the
for
camera
school.
floats around and it's, very, very sad and very depressing. And they were interviewing this mother and this father. And
do you ever debate, like, should you turn?
Right. Yeah.
Should you not keep her room like this?
Yeah, and she says, no, I can feel her presence.
No, every time I go in
she's
there.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel her presence.
Right. And you said that the husband rolled his eyes.
He was like,
and you were thinking, I could turn this thing into a man cave. I really could.
But old crazy.
I've been waiting around for the opportunity.
Old crazy tits
to
feels
remake
her
this
presence.
room.
Yeah, he was just like,
okay, nutty balls. All right, yeah.
Yeah, she really still feels her presence.
Yeah,
in there,
feels
so.
her. Yeah, as long as you're feeling her presence, I'm not gonna have my new home theater.
No, he's got like a cart on Rooms to Go with like double recliners, with like the massaging and the heating and everything and the built-in USB ports. And he's just, the minute she says like, I don't feel her presence there anymore. Bye.
Boom.
Bye.
That's right. Boom. We're putting in a foosball table right there.
There's this trend that I enjoy watching where wives are trying to scare their husbands and they're doing like all these little compilation videos of it. It's very hysterical. You're pretty easy to scare, but the scare of our marriage, our lifetime, definitely goes to you.
It kind of almost started my film career.
It was like it was not the first thing you were ever in, but
it was
early.
It was the first or second thing I was ever in. I was went out for a job. And they were looking for extras for something. And they had entire SWAT outfits. And so I was wearing black and the shirt and a black ski mask.
Realistic.
It was very realistic.
This is a guy in Tennessee who's been making films a long time, Zach Adams.
He's one of my oldest friends, still in the business. He's done a lot of music videos and documentaries, and he's an amazing dude. I came home and I was dressed completely in black with the black ski mask on. and you were asleep in bed.
Well, I heard you come in, and then I heard like very heavy footsteps, and then some giant dark bear burst through the bedroom door and like lunging at me, and I was screaming my head off.
Yeah.
I think I jumped out of bed. I don't know what happened really.
It was not a very nice thing to do. And
then you were like, it's me.
it's me. Look, it's me. Yeah. It was.
Had I had a gun,
I'd be dead. I would be so dead.
And this is why I don't allow guns in my home.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
with you around,
I don't.
It's not going to happen.
I don't do that kind of thing anymore. Honestly, scaring somebody, that kind of creates this like anything can kind of happen as a result of that. Mm-hmm. Like maybe they'll strike out at you, maybe they'll fall down, maybe they'll get hurt, something like that. And so, but that one time, it was like the perfect moment to scare the living shit out of you.
Well, it's like sometimes in life, you just have to do a thing well once.
I watched this movie called The Long Goodbye. And it's like one of those movies that I had heard about for a really long time. It's from the 70s. It was Robert Altman. Mm-hmm. And it was Robert Altman doing a Philip Marlowe. He was adapting a Raymond Chandler. Had a lot kind of in common with Chinatown. Mm-hmm. It was a sort of a dark Los Angeles.
Who was it?
Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould.
And I'm usually not a huge fan of Elliot
Me neither.
Gould.
I usually don't think he's that great.
But I love him in MASH. This was really good. I thought it was great. Some people don't like it because it really departs from the idea of the Philip Marlowe private detective thing a lot. But to me, it almost had more in common with like something like Fletch.
Okay, I tried because you were like, you really should watch this.
I told you.
I tried. You know what the problem is? The sound.
The sound.
There are certain movies that were made back then and they have a certain sound, and it just is nails on a chalkboard to me.
There is a moment in this movie where one of the characters basically wades out and to kill themselves into the ocean. And then Elliot Gould goes in and tries to save them. And the waves, I think it's like they're in Malibu or something. And the waves are coming so hard. And I was like, bitches are going to die. And those actors are actually doing that. And that was like a 70s thing where they didn't give a
go out
fuck.
There and
they didn't care about people's safety at all. It was like, Elliot Gould, just keep going. Just keep going. Back and forth.
It's like when that helicopter killed those people. I mean, like, no, they would just kill people. We almost died because it's been like super snowy and icy and everything. And the roads were largely clear.
Yeah, everything was fine.
Everything was fine.
And we were just like rolling along.
There's this one spot where it's
no, I remember you said there was like a little warning. You said, oh, there's some ice on the side of the road over there.
Yeah, because the snow was so loose and powdery that it was actually not even snowing anymore, but it looked like it was snowing because it was blowing around so much.
Right.
So snow was blowing back over one section of the road.
And it's right next to the lake.
Right. I mean, like, it's a guardrail and the lake.
Right. Exactly.
It's like this little man-made peninsula going over top of the lake. So,
and I'm cruising along. I'm doing like, I don't know, 35, 40, something
like
that.
55.
Yeah, I'm just going,
And I see it coming and I go, slow down, slow down, slow down.
Right.
And you start slowing
down. I started slowing down. Yes,
not
I did.
Nearly enough for this situation.
Well, in this
and then
case,
you're
you were
still laying on the brakes at the point where we're about to hit the ice. And I'm like, pump your brakes, dipshit.
So we hit it.
Fishtailing.
And then
we started spinning.
We were spinning.
And then we were spinning.
And like in the middle of the spin,
minutes.
Tracy looks over at me and she goes, we're going in the lake. It was the most matter-of-fact thing you've ever heard. We're going in the lake.
No, I saw how close we were getting to the lake and spinning out of control towards the lake. And I was just like, we're going in the lake.
We're going in the lake.
You stayed very calm.
I spun around.
I think
and
me saying that
we were
woke
facing
you up.
the other direction.
Yeah, we were fine, but it was pretty harrowing.
It was. I watched a movie.
Uh-huh.
It was called Marshmallow, and I'd heard about it, that basically it was like kind of a classic, kids going to camp slasher type, but that something happened and that it was much better than people were expecting it to be.
It was not better.
It was different. It was surprising.
It was like,
it went someplace you didn't expect it to go.
If I had come home from school, gotten off the bus, ran home up the driveway, popped the lid on a can of tuna, and just sat down in front of the TV.
Why are you popping a lid on a can of tuna?
Because
why tuna? I was thinking you were popping a lid on a Coke, or you were going to pop a lid on some Pringles, but it ended up being tuna?
Yeah. We didn't have like chips aplenty in my home.
Oh, okay. Do you at least put mayonnaise in it or some relish or
no? Stir it up.
There's a bread?
No, don't need bread.
You're eating like a kitty cat.
This would have been a fine after school special. It would have been a fine episode of like Goosebumps.
It was a little bit goosebumpy.
It was pretty juvenile.
I thought the way that it turned from a horror movie into something else was interesting.
Well, I didn't get that far.
But here's the thing. Was this entertaining? Was this scary? Did you care? Did you feel anything? And it just kind of was just, bleh. It was a marshmallow. We were watching Stephen Colbert, as we are apt to do, and James Taylor was on. And Tracy has opinions of...
No, I don't have opinions.
You have an opinion.
I don't have plural opinions.
Of James Taylor.
No, I fucking hate him.
Why do you hate James Taylor, Tracy?
Well, okay, you can watch the Colbert interview.
Yes.
And you can hear the fucking story for yourself.
What? So the story is why you hate James Taylor?
No. It is because of the person he is that he does this. It points to a kind of person and behavior that I fucking hate. First of all, I hate his fucking voice.
Well, I know
okay,
that.
Now I do have opinions. There's multiple things.
Multiple opinions.
I found out maybe a year or so into our relationship
oh my God.
that you went to a James Taylor concert with an ex-girlfriend.
With an ex-girlfriend, yes.
Now, not while we were together, when you were with her.
No.
But I literally had to sit down and think through this. Could I even be with a man
who would go to see James Taylor?
Who would acquiesce to buy tickets to a
Taylor
concert of James Taylor?
He has a couple of good songs. Back in the day, Fire and Rain is a great fucking song.
What did he tell you on the Colbert?
So he was telling the story of being friends with Carole King.
Well, they were more than friends.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they were more than friends. Okay.
Yeah. They were together.
Right.
She had been writing songs.
She was working on songs for Tapestry.
Mm-hmm.
And she shared the song You've Got a Friend.
She played it for
James
him.
Taylor.
Like, oh,
hey,
listen
baby.
to this cool little song.
Yeah, listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
And James
He's
Taylor.
recording his album. He's like in the studio.
James Taylor loved the song.
He loved it.
He thought it was fantastic.
He's at his own little recording studio session.
So he thought, let me mess around here. I'm going to record this too. Mm-hmm. Just to see, hey, let me see how this song sounds, with me doing it. Let me do my version of You've Got a Friend.
So then he comes home and tells her what he's done. And she's like, okay, that's cool. It sounds great.
And then they release it. And she's okay with it, he says. But you said Carole King was dick sick.
Yeah, she was dick sick. If she did say that, and I'm not saying she did, that would make me furious.
Oh, absolutely.
If I created something and you absconded with it and passed it off, if you ask somebody who sings You've Got a Friend, you would say James Taylor.
I don't think that's true. I think most people know You've Got a Friend.
How much money did he make off of that? How
But how
many
much money did she
years?
make off of it too?
I don't know.
Okay.
There was no fucking formal agreement when it happened.
Yes, I understand that, but
You don't
I'm
just
sure
show up.
she made
Oh,
the
look,
royalties off of the song.
this song that you made that I thought was really cool. Look, I fucking recorded it without your fucking permission.
I know. I agree.
And I'm going to release it. And why would I think a person who did something like that, who stole someone's work, who did it without permission, why would I ever think they would be honest with that person?
Okay. Carole King, was in a relationship and that James Taylor had a unique take on it. And
Really? He didn't.
She was secure.
No, he didn't. She doesn't. No, he didn't add any flavor to it.
Well, his is an acoustic version and hers is acoustic piano. So,
wow.
Yeah.
His has guitar and hers has piano. It's two totally different songs.
My issue with the whole thing is that he tells the story and he's acting like it's cute.
Oh, he thinks he's really cute.
I don't think it's cute. I think it's a kind of a story that you tell about, when I was younger,
it makes my blood boil.
And when you go back into history and you hear about some great writer or some great painter, or there is a woman who has been pushed aside.
Tolstoy.
Who is in some way involved as a partner or as a support or sometimes someone who actually did the work.
Because here's the thing, and this would not be a popular opinion. Men are actually the submissive species.
Okay.
You are.
Interesting.
You are.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
I mean, it's completely Freudian. You try not to be. You try everything in your power to prove that you're not.
Right.
Which means you are.
I absolutely agree with that. If you have real power, you don't feel a need to express it.
No. And quite honestly, like, women are made to be individual leaders.
I agree.
We just are.
Yes.
We brought you here. We can take you out.
We watched the America's Next Top Model documentary series.
Ugh. Yeah.
And there were so many things on that were so cringe. Like, I can't believe they did that.
Well, it was
what?
It was the 2000s. Evidently during COVID.
I mean, thank God
America's Next Top Model
came back. Thank God for woke. Because, we needed to wake up. Some of the things that we thought were okay.
With reality television, you're given an actual capsule. Committed to video makes it like it's anthropological. It's a social contract that we make, and those social contracts expire and they come up for renewal and they come up for renegotiation.
Exactly.
And they have to.
And we have to change that contract, and we have to,
and it's not, see, I hate the fact that woke, and then everybody's like, oh, woke, and that's a bad word. It's a contract, motherfuckers. Okay? It's a contract that we made that everybody agreed to when we said we should treat people this way. Oh, yes, I agree.
Just because what was acceptable then is not acceptable now.
And thank God.
That doesn't mean
we have some perspective.
Yeah, we have some perspective. We have learned.
We've seen how this goes.
Yes.
We've seen the outcome, the fruit that this thing bears.
Right.
And it's not good. And we need to go back and say, this contract is under new negotiation. We're not going to use this particular word.
We're moving from wagons to Model Ts.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what we're doing.
We have to renegotiate these things all the time. It's been this way. It will always be this way. It is not woke.
No.
It is a negotiation.
Right.
Because collectively we agree.
We have to grow as people.
Yeah. And other countries don't agree to the things we agree to. Like, even bad words. What are bad words? You say bloody in England and it's a big deal. I say bloody here and you're like, where?
Right. What the model said was there were people who would not hire me because I was on America's Next Top Model.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think Tyra's aging poorly in the process of reruns and syndicating of this.
Tyra just looks like she has a dead soul, man. I mean, she
Well-
she says the right things, but
Here's the thing, though. A
Oh.
lot of Tyra's justifications,
it's so cold. She's so cold.
her justifications for things always go back to her own trauma.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you know that it was a punitive thing she was doing when she was acting out upon these girls.
Right. Like
you
when she
know.
would scream at them or when
Or,
she was, yeah.
she's like cutting their hair off and she's like, it's actually from the place of her own trauma that she's able to act this out in an attempt to heal herself.
She doesn't look at what they would do and go, yeah, we shouldn't have done that. She says, well, we had to create a story. We had to create drama.
But also, she'll say like, well, I've gone through 10 times worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, as a justification, which is,
the point is if you've gone through horrible things,
you shouldn't.
You should want other
them.
people not to go through horrible things.
But
you should create a safe space so that they don't have the same experience that you have.
Unfortunately, the human psyche is always in a place and acting out in a place to normalize. Like, she's come back and now she's trying to be the ice cream queen.
Mm-hmm.
The like hot ice cream.
I don't know.
I don't know what the hell that is. It
whatever.
Sounds disgusting because I don't even like ice cream.
That's true, you don't.
To begin with. And I don't want any derivatives.
It's only
in
Australia, babe, so you don't have to worry about it.
Didn't they used to send all the criminals we didn't want in our country to Australia?
Now we're sending the models.
Now we're just saying dried up whole models.
Dried old husk of a model.
Get the fuck over to Australia.
Oh, man.
Australia is beautiful. I do not really want to go there.
You don't want to go there?
Because
everything wants to kill
you.
Everything wants to kill you in Australia. Maybe New Zealand. Because it's kind of like all of the benefits of Australia without like all of the murderous creatures.
I have really been wanting to watch The Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Again.
Okay.
I don't know if you had this in school. We did. Like every single freaking year in English class, we had to watch that animated Hobbit movie.
Really?
Yeah. And that thing kind of makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's like kind of blobby.
The Ralph Bakshi Hobbit movie.
I don't know.
He's the guy like in the late 70s that was pretty much the main
animator guy.
Yeah, like he did Wizards and he did Fire and Ice and he did those.
Heavy Metal? Did he do?
No, he did not do Heavy Metal, but Heavy Metal is pretty similar.
Did you do Light Years?
Well, I remember I was asleep on the floor in our motel room, and my family were watching Heavy Metal, and I would turn around and they would be like, "What the fuck? They're boobies! My mom and dad are watching an animated booby movie!" And Dad would go, "Stop it!" And he would be like kind of laughing because he was getting caught watching animated boobies. He was like, "Stop it! Turn over!" And it was so hard not to turn back around to watch them animated boobies.
Cartoon is the crime, the victimless crime.
It is. Cartoons are the victimless crime.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Follow, like, and be part of the conversation. Tune in next week for more Married to Movies with John and Tracy.